Hey everybody, this is Matt. I'm making a new Pokemon TCG video, and this is part 3 in a four parts process, which is talking about cards that are being rotated out of the Pokemon TCG standard format, September 1st, 2016, in about a month. And these are cards from the Furious Fist set, one of my favorite sets ever. And I'm gonna basically just, these are just the cards that appeal to me. I'm not saying these are the best cards in the set. These are just the cards I was interested in and cards I'm sad to see go. So let's just start out with just oh I'm almost crying right now when I see this card go. Energy Evolution Eevee. It's been around in the past. It's been rotated out with many tiers in the past. And I'm just so sad to see this go because it was such Energy Evolution is just so useful. I mean, it's just any kind of ability that allows you to evolve quickly is so useful. Whether it be Ascension or whatever, Energy Evolution was so useful, and I'm so sad to see it go. With Eevee and the evolutions and stuff, I'm so sad to see him go. Poor Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon that are still going to be in the format. They're not going to have a really good Eevee to go with them. I mean, it's just really, really sad, and has a fantastic picture. To go along with it, the Sylveon, the Leafeon, and the Glaceon. I actually really like the Sylveon. I think I like that most of the cards because the curly ribbon attack, 30 damage, move energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon and one of his or her bench Pokemon. I like cards that can disrupt the opponent, and this was a great card. It wasn't energy removal because a lot of decks can recover easily from energy removal if it has like a Bronzong or something like that. But this was like energy disruption, and although it didn't do a lot of damage, it was just fun to play. And Leafeon, um, I liked with the Eevee how regardless of what evolution you went into, they cost one energy to do 30, and then one of that type and two colorless to do 50 or more and stuff. So it was easier to hit weaknesses and stuff. And 30 in a sleep is not bad by any means. Um, Glaceon was I liked it more than Leafeon because it could spread damage 30 for one and do 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's actually pretty decent, but like I said, spread is dead with rough seeds in the format, so of course it never really was that interesting. But I am sad to see the evolution line go. Noivern was a card that I didn't really look into until the break came out, and it was great with the break. It was great with the break. Echolocation is such a cool ability. I don't know how many games I ended up the game with like, my a fist pump because I got the echolocation and took no damage from that attack. Just so good. And then again, it spread damage. Boom Burst spreads 30 damage each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, or each of your opponent's Pokemon. And as you can tell, whether it's Fortress or Noivern or Glaceon, I love spreading damage, but again, spread is dead with rough seas in the format. Sadly, so you're probably better off with the new Noivern with the new Noivern break, even though this ability works so well with the break. I mean, it's great with anything. So I'm sad to see it go. It also worked really well with the other dragon Pokemon that used Psychic and Dark Energy, Hydreigon. You could put them together in the same deck, and it worked pretty well together, which he's also being rotated out. Halucha was just a super cheap fighting Pokemon. You could put in any fighting deck. It had free retreat, which very few Pokemon do, and it was great against EXs with all the tools. This whole set, and this is part one of poor fighting decks, segment. Basically 1 for 60 if they were an EX. Then you put on a muscle band, be 1 for 80, and you had fighting stadium in place. It'd be like 1 for 100. I mean, it was really good. It was really good card. They take one prize, and you could maybe take two from theirs. Just a great card. I'm sad to see it go. Landorus Part 2, that energy acceleration was really useful with the Shadow Power. Sky Lariat did 90, but you could easily boost it higher and higher and higher. Just, one retreat was decent, 120 hit points, a nice sturdy basic, whether you were playing Machamp or just a whole slew of other fighting enhancement cards. Just a great card overall. Now here's two cards I never got to play myself because I never got my hands on them. Um, but this was, a very popular fighting Pokemon, Lucario EX. 3 attacks, very consistent for what it could do. 30, 60, or 100 damage. Especially when you started enhancing it with all the fighting enhancement items. Just a really good card. And Mega Lucario, 3 for 140, which could easily be enhanced even higher. Again, I never really got my hands on them, so I never really was able to really try it out. But just a fantastic fighting card. Onto the trainer line, Super Scoop Up. Oh man, Super Scoop Up is good for so many things. It's one of those cards that can just work, that can just create infinite combos with things, that infinite potential combos, with things like Crobat, Fortress. I mean, just so many good things. So many good things. And I'm really sad to see it go. Wailord EX was another one. Very, very useful for a Wailord EX deck. Um, just, I'm really sad to see it go. We're losing, I think we're losing like every way to pick up a Pokemon. So that's really, really kind of like shocking to me. Really sad to see it go. This is one card I really hope they reprint ASAP. It needs to be back in the formats in some form, whether it's bringing back Cassius, AZ, or Super Scoop Up. So, um, I mean, Karina is just another one of those pieces to the fighting puzzle that was just so strong. Search your deck for any fighting Pokemon and an item card was usually either a rare Keeney to evolve into Machamp, or it was a tool like a Muscle Band to do more damage, or it was an Ultra Ball to go get that Pokemon, or it was a Spirit Link, for Mega Lucario EX. Did he have a Spirit Link? I don't know. Um, it was just so useful. Yuki Corina into a Versus Seeker and do Corina again into another Versus Seeker. I mean, it's just such a useful card. It was such a linchpin to the fighting deck to keep it going and keep it functioning. It's a creative card, and I'm sad to see it go. Focus Sash is one of those cards that I didn't realize the potential of until I saw other players using it, and I was like, holy crap! Because I was always like, you got to play the muscle bands in the fighting decks. But as these EXs came out, they had more and more hit points, and they were one shot in a lot of these weaker fighting Pokemon. The Focus Sash really became a lot more important because you could boost the damage other ways. But being able to survive that initial attack from an EX and then hit them back, usually meant you could knock them out and get 2 prizes, and they would only get 1 from you. So just a really important card. Definitely game breaking by just not being knocked out on any fighting Pokemon. One of those cards that if it would have been left in the format, it could have really been game breaking as more and more fighting Pokemon came out. Just the right fighting Pokemon, it could just break the game basically. Um, so I think part of it's good that it's going out, but at the same time, I will miss it. I think it was a very important card. Sparkling Robe, I didn't realize it until this morning it's being rotated out, and I had a combination I wanted to do with it like a few days ago. I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect, and now it won't work. I wanted to put it on the new Toxicroak and then have Ariados poisoning both actives, but of course Toxicroak wouldn't get poisoned, but the opponent's active would be poisoned and Toxicroak would take no damage from their attacks. But sadly, this is being rotated out. This is one of those cards, a lot like, Protection Cube and all kinds of other cards. They don't look very strong until you find the right Pokemon and the right combination to put them in there. And then you're like, whoa, that's awesome. And I'm sad to see it go. Status conditions have not been very popular ever since hyper or that that flippy toxic laser, hyper toxic laser. Hypnotoxic laser was rotated out. Stats conditions have not ever been as popular since then. So Sparkling Robe's potential has been kind of lesser, but I definitely think it's one of those cards I wish were still in the format so I could combo it with future cards. So, and finally, the last card. This is a card that I don't think a lot of people really fell in love with, but it's one of those cards I found interesting, and it never got in the way. It was never like this just didn't work for me. It always had some benefit, and basically, You put on a grass Pokemon and you heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. You know, I mean, whether it was Sceptile EX or I mainly used it with Sceptile EX, but I mean, it's just useful for the extra healing, you know, and it never got in the way. So, you know, a lot of people, a lot of people are sad. Do I not have the? Oh, I guess okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. The fighting energy, the muscle energy, or whatever, was or the punch. I don't know what it's called. That's been reprinted, but this one hasn't. So I'm sad to see where this one go. Um, it's just another one of those pieces where, like, you know, slowly all the little support for all the different types are being slowly worked out of the format, and I'm sad to see that go because this has been one of my favorite formats. XY on. It's been one of my favorite formats forever because of all the support for all the different types of Pokemon, whether it's grass, fire, water, electric, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know. Um, and I'm sad to see a little bit more support for grass go away, even though they will have the forest stadium. So, but that's all the cards from Furious Fist that I am sad to see go. If you want to pay your respects, you can type F down below and leave a comment. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you have a lot of fun playing Pokemon TCG in the future. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Bye bye.